I have to say, after reading this chapter, I really feel bad for Loki. I really do. What's up, pirates? It's your homeboy GM, chapter 1153 of One Piece. Let's get into this, but before I start this review, guys, how about you drop a like? It would be really appreciated. And if you love my content, how about you subscribe? That would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's get into this. Arnold was childhood friend with Dory and Broogie, and he was known to be a troublemaker. So I'm not even surprised about that detail. And as the years went on, he became more carefree, ego-inflated, and selfish. And if you think about it, he's not that different from Loki right now. So, I mean, maybe less vicious, but you get what I mean. So, like father, like son, right? One day in Bund Kingdom in the New World, Harold came across a giant that seemed to be captured and exposed as a freak sideshow. Her name was Ida. And so he did the logical thing at the time, freeing her from her captors. But it turns out this wasn't the course to go because, well, both Ida and the humans were onto it, into this whole freak sideshow. Like, it was all consensual on both sides, no foul played. And yeah, so I guess that Ida was helping the town to gain some funds or whatnot, or helping them in whatever way that she could, because those people saved her as she was drifted ashore sometimes in the past for some unknown reasons. More so, I think this is the point where Harold changes his personality and perspective towards humans, because Ida criticized them for that exactly, and tell them that just because you're big and powerful and stronger than humans, that doesn't discard their existence. That doesn't make them inferior, and that doesn't make you superior to them by default. You can learn a lot from them. You know, they have a lot to offer to the world and whatnot. And since then, Harold decided to learn more from Ida about this perspective, to be, you know, open-minded. And more so, he wanted to have this mission to give Elbaf a better representation towards the entire world. And when he proposed that idea to the entirety of Elbaf and the people of the Giants, this was widely accepted, and because the Giants were very surprised that Harold was a changed man. He was a much wiser leader, and that was really beloved by everyone. And this is probably the reason why he got the name Harold the Wise. Over time, Harold and Ida had a child named Ajrudin, but unfortunately, due to tradition, he couldn't get married with her because she wasn't of pure blood. Even so, Ida is not mad at that. More so, she accepts the fact that Harold must get married to another giant of pure blood to continue the tradition. Like, she's really open-minded about that. Harold gets introduced to Estrid, who is a pure-blooded giant, and she is presented to him to be his wife and queen of Elbaf. And she seems to be a very materialistic, pretty much of a gold digger if you ask me. But considering she's pure-blooded and she can continue the line of the pure-blooded giant, I mean, yeah, the council tells him, hey, you have to marry her because she's pure-blooded. So Harold doesn't want to cause any trouble for Elbaf. He does so, reluctantly. We get some Norse mythology reference in this chapter yet again, as Harold gets gifted an 8-legged horse called Asla from Istrid. And again, if you are familiar with Norse mythology, the 8-legged horse is the steed of Odin, Sleipnir. Harold continues to travel around the world and building good relationship with other nations. And doing so, he actually traveled to Fishman Island and witnessed Neptune as a child. So I really hope that we get maybe a glimpse of a flashback later on in One Piece. I would love to see what was the conversation of him as king of Elbaf towards the king of Fishman Island at that time. And while he was absent, his second child, Loki, was born. And man, when that kid was born, yeesh, he truly looked like a devil's spawn. The Queen Estrid denies him, rejects him, and more so, which I can't believe, but I'm not surprised, he drops the kid, the newborn child, into the underworld. And what's even worse, Loki, as a newborn baby, climbs back up. I do not agree of Queen Esther's action, obviously, because you don't drop a kid into hell when he's just born. But man, the prophecies regarding Loki and him being a bad omen for Elbaf, I kind of get why. Like, why all of those uh, prophecies of ill fortune and all that are connected to him. The chapter ends with a lot of time passing on, with Queen Esther falling ill, King Owl being blocked by the world government to meet other nations, which is kind of fishy. And this is the part that I really love, seeing Ida actually wanted to meet Loki. Queen Esther falling ill, I do not care that much about that, but King Owl being blocked by the world government, that I am not surprised, because again, you got a land of giants forming great relationship with other nations. Now, what does that give you over time? A threat towards the world government. Because if the world decided to, you know what, we don't need the world government, guess who's going to be their strongest ally? Giants. That one part at the end of the chapter that really moved me personally was Ida being excited to wanting to meet Loki. And I was looking at this and I'm like, what if Ida was Loki's adoptive mother? Like, I think that Loki would have had a better outcome, because she's the type of person that doesn't judge people by their covers. You know, she really gets to know people before judging them. And honestly, of course, I think that this is not a hot take, but Ida would have been a greater queen than Estrid. The only reason why she wasn't queen is because of tradition and because she wasn't pure-blooded. But other than that, her compassion, her heart, and all that, she would have made the greatest queen of Elbaf. And I think that Loki, even if somehow he would have been born, she would have loved him any given way. Because I think that a mother's love for a child is so important. Like, I think throughout the entirety of one's life, a mother's love is primordial, if you think about it. And if a kid doesn't have that, God knows what he can become. And we saw what Loki became, you know? His mother rejected him, and you got this, you know? So, and the whole thing about his eyes being covered, considering the demonic eyes that he had at birth, I can understand, but I'm wondering the powers behind those eyes, because I feel like there's something behind those. But anyways, that's the end of the chapter. It was a cool flashback, but now I feel more empathy towards Loki regarding his upbringing. But there's still more to explore, because him as a child, what he came to, I know that Zebek really kicked his ass as a kid because he wanted to join his crew. And so yeah, there's so much more to know. The whole thing about him being accused of killing his father, like, I don't get it. This one, I really want to get to the bottom of this, considering that Ja Rule was besides Loki when Arrow was assassinated. So what gives? So anyways, tell me your thoughts about this chapter. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. I don't really mind. Let's flood the comment section. Let's talk about this. And I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks, because we're going on break. So you guys take care of yourself. So in the meantime, take it easy, stay breezy, and I'll see you around. And I'm on Twitch, so check me out there as well. Bye.